Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the ARL 2021 Formula 2 Championship. I believe for the first part. We're here in Bahrain, one of the most picturesque tracks on the F1 calendar, and it is a finale here today. Constructed back in 2004, and on a mostly desert layout, this will indeed put the pressure on brakes, turning, and of course, well, just try and make it around and see what happens in the race, really. So, yeah, this is the final race of the season, and pretty much before we get into Sundays a little bit, qualification is already underway as we speak. 15 minutes in that, a little bit of a 2-minute break before we get on to the race. So we don't need to go into standings that much because we already know that Conor Pelkmans is your ARL Formula 2 champion. He was crowned champion last week at Monza, and yeah, it's been an absolute mixed race. Let's hope we have less spins this time round. So looking into the qualifying session at this moment in time, over 12 minutes to go in the session, and Conor Pelkmans, of course, is on top of the standings without setting a time yet. But though this is what it looks like in the session at the moment. Pelkmans is still on, well, he's still on top, but hasn't probably set a lap time. You know what I mean? We'll have a look at Alex Cochran at this moment in time. But though, yeah, these are the, well, we'll have to wait and see who was doing the time first. So let's have a look at Alex Cochran. He's coming down towards the last corner at the minutes. Touching the apex, absolutely lovely there. And going across the line as he set provisional pole time for this moment in time with a 1 minute 40.595. But Betcher's already beaten to 1 minute 40.516. I betcha he's actually going to hopefully have a good race, better race than it was back at Monza. I believe it was, I don't know if it was him or Kruger that actually messed up in the race. Oh, we got another one top of the table. Our very own Ross McIntyre, top of the table. Well, in the qualifying at least. There we go. So it's McIntyre, Betcher, Cochran, Sheikh, Dalla Valle. I believe I haven't seen him before yet, but he's here. Conor Pelkmans is yet as his due time. Then Brandon Kruger, and it's actually just got a second now. Junga, Southwood, Mangini, and yeah, that's what it's like. Oh yeah, and Roman Rattel. That is what it is. Now, unfortunately, Zach isn't here with us today, tonight. He's doing a little bit of a karting event, hopefully being social distancing and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's just a solo man in the booth tonight. Let's hope we can make it a good one. So, having a look now at Gustavo Dalla Valle, just going through that hairpin section into, I believe it's turn 7. I don't know, but it is one of the most difficult. It is one of the most difficult corners on the track because you have to brake and steer, and there's a real challenge that you are actually going to go wide into that section. Thank goodness he actually made it through properly and safely, going uphill a little bit, and yeah, I might as well get myself the truck layout up here. That way I don't get confused what corners he is at. So he's actually at the penultimate corner. I know that much. As he's, I believe, warming up his tyres. Maybe he's starting a new lap, probably fresh. I'm not too sure, but I believe it is going to be, well, just fresh time. And, of course, that time is not going to impress the whole world. That's beyond right there. So here he goes across the line and starting a proper lap this time, currently 6th. That's not a time that he wants to put in, even though his fast lap is practically, I say, within a second of the pole time. So there's still some time for him to catch up at the very least. And up he goes then through turn. Oh, we're actually looking at the Rattel this time. Rattel going down towards the final corner. Well, he's starting a lap. He's starting a lap. Okay, so 8.5 minutes to go. So McIntyre made a time. Betcher's made a time. Cochran, Kruger's made a time. Cochran, then Shai, Dalla Valle, Sanford, Rattel, Mangini, Parks. Yet to find out where Southwood, and more importantly, champion Pelkins is going to end up, if he is going to do a time at this moment in time. We'll have a look at the live timings. No such tunes at the moment, but we will have a look out. So there's currently Pelkmans and actually it's Pelkmans and Junger that actually need to do their lap time, as well as Southwood. Let me just have a look here. Just refresh that. And yeah, that's what it's like looking like at the moment. So Rathil currently in 9th, despite my live timing saying he's in 12th, strangely enough. We're having a look at Sanford now, coming up into the penultimate corner, which is turn 13. And going down towards the final corner, turn 14. And let's see where he's going to end up. He's currently 7th at the moment, and I believe this time could actually get him at least in the top 6. Or pole. Would he do pole? Oh, he will do pole. Wow, how about that? 1 minute 39.634. Absolutely sensational from Toby Sanford. And Cochran and just also overtaking Ross McIntyre on top of there. But it's only a matter of time until Pelkmans makes the world come crashing down and go on top of the table. So we currently have 10 people who have done their lap times. And there we go, Southwood. So all we need now is for Pelkmans to do his lap. And it will happen soon. I guarantee it will happen soon. Let's just hope I am right in that sense, at least. Right, so this is what the poll is like. Poll times are like with just over 6 minutes to go. Sanford on top, Cochran in 2nd, McIntyre in 3rd, Betcher 4th, Kruger 5th, Rattel 6th, Shaik 7th, Dalla in 8th, 9th, Mangini, Southwood 10th, and Parks in 11th. And I believe going a little bit wide, is that Pelkmans? We don't know yet. And this is just going down the final corner here. I do believe that might be Pelkmans. Not too sure as he goes across the line now. No, that's. I thought that was Pelkmans. I don't know what I'm saying now. So yeah, Kruger starts at that time, currently 5th at this moment in time, as he starts going up into turn 1 here. Just nicely touch on the apex through turn 2 and 3, going uphill a little bit. I'm going to high brake into turn 4. A little bit of a smooth corner this one, and plenty of runoff road at this right there. Fast section is 5, 6, and 7 downhill into the hairpin of turn 8. This is where you make or break your lap, and he just gets through it as he just negotiates a back marker at this moment in time. Into turn 9 and 10, most difficult part of the circuit at least. Slow but difficult as he goes along the international straight, aka the back straight, of course, and into turn 11, and off he goes. Shame, absolute shame from Kruger. And Mangini is also off. That's not going to do his race the world of good. And there is Kruger still around on the lap. And we still have to yet find out what is going to happen. Oh, Cochran goes a little bit fast. Very, very fast. What is he doing? What is he doing? I don't know. 4 minutes left, and we still have to wait what happens with Pelkmans. I really don't know. So yeah, we'll have a look at Rattel. Hopefully going to start a lap. I'm not sure what's happening now as he goes through that corner 11 up into 12 uphill. 3 minutes and a half in the session left, and everyone just negotiates how they're going to do their final lap. So we are going to go into that stage of qualifying where it's literally going to be who will start on top of the order. As he goes into turn 14. And, I've just been told this by my race director, is that Conor Pelkmans is actually probably going to skip qualifying and start from the back of the race. It's practically like with Bonner Huisman did it in. Well, I shouldn't mention the leagues here, but he did it in his other league. We already know what it's called, at the Korean Grand Prix, where his rival Morgan Morant didn't want to turn up, and Bonner started from the back of the grid instead, and as a result, not only went up the field to finish second place, but won the championship. So I completely understand what Pelkmans is doing. I mean, he doesn't want to go into this race thinking that he wants to dominate, or he wants to make sure to get himself a little bit of a challenge, as we've got a little bit of spin in the pit lane. Why would you do that? There is McIntyre. 2 minutes to go left on the clock. And, well, this is make or break time if McIntyre wants to get on to the top spot on the podium at this moment in time. So going through uphill a little bit. Maybe he could do another lap after this, because there's still plenty of time. Apart from those who are in the pit lane, which is Rattel and Shaikh, your time is up. You cannot go out anymore, because there's no point of getting around to get around to it, the first line, in time to start another one. But people like McIntyre can do so once again. Here we go. So here he is starting his final lap, and potentially a lap that could make or break his spot on the grid, and ideally his race, because he needs a better race than he did at Monza. Going through the first corner, a little bit of a slide there. That's going to cost him a couple of tenths going through that first corner. Zigzags through turn 2 and 3. Uphill he goes into turn 4. Hard braking, but smooth on the exit he goes. Very sharp turning for him, but he just makes it through there. Is he fast? No, he's slow. He's slow for the first sector, at least by 1/10 of the pole time. So he could still aim for like second or third at this moment of time. Going through turn 8, that sharp hairpin, smooth on the exit. He goes into turn 9 and 10, the most difficult part of the circuit. And oh no, he is sliding through that. I'm not sure if that's going to cost him even more time. We'll have to wait and see as he goes along the international straight into turn 11, wide on entry, just going through there. And he's only 3/10 off. 3/10 off, so third is his best bet as the time is now elapsed. So third is his best bet, if not fourth. But he is definitely aiming for top 4 as he goes wide at turn 13. Excuse me. That is not how you want to do it. That's not how you want to do it, Sir Ross. Going into turn 14. Smooth on the exit again. And yeah, that is going to put him 5th. Oh dear. Only a couple of thousandths of a second behind Southwood. That is close for him. Meanwhile, Southwood, can he improve on his time? Here he goes through turn 9 and 10. He was actually, I believe, he's actually gone through the start of the finish line just as the time elapsed, and he's given enough time to start a lap, thankfully for him. So going through turn 11 here. Does he improve on his time for this section? Oh yes, he does. He could be on form for pole. 2/10 up in the second sector. This could be his chance. Southwood going through turn 13. Through turn 13. Down the final straight into turn 14. And hopefully home stretch for pole here for Dave Southwood. Here he comes. Does he make the breakthrough for pole here? Yes, he does. By 1/10 of a second. Dave Southwood is your man on pole position for the season finale here in Bahrain. Utterly staggering. So this is what the pole. This is what the standings looks like as we wait a couple of minutes before we get into the actual race. Salford is on pole. Sanford in second. Alex Cochran in third. Luca Becher in fourth. Ross McIntyre in fifth. Brandon Kruger in sixth. Roman Reitel is in seventh. Gustavo Dallavalle in eighth. Imran Sheikh in ninth. Luca Mangini in 10th. Shane Parks 11th. And I believe at the back will be the champion, Connor Pelkmans. So let's see what happens in this race. Will Pelkmans make an absolutely sharp getaway and lead within the first 10 or so laps, which would be a tall order? Or will it be time for one of the four guys from the first few races of the season to finally grasp that brass ring and go on to win this race? Of course, the championship is out of the question. In some cases, like the Constructors' Championship, is still in that sense, but still, we're just gonna have a little bit of fun here in the season finale. So let's see what happens. We're only about 40 seconds or so away. And I believe my pick for winning this one is either going to be between Southwood, Sanford, Pelkmans, if he makes it through, or a little bit out of the unknown will be Betcher. Those are my picks. So we'll have to wait and see who will be the one to grasp that shining ring. And here we go. The lights are about to come on. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5, 6. Action in Bahrain is a good start to Southwood, and maybe a little bit slow start on Sanford as Cochran could take the advantage going into turn 1. But Sanford actually gets back on the power going into the turn 1. Does he make the breakthrough? Yes! Sanford leads through the first couple of corners. Southwood to what has he done? But yeah, and Southwood loses his first position, and Cochran could have an opportunity at second here. Yes, just makes it through. So Sanford takes the advantage from second place. Southwood has not taken any advantages at all. Pelkman has moved up into 10th place, by the way. And now this is what it's like at the front. So it's Sanford, Cochran, Southwood, Kruger, Becher, Sheikh, Rattel, McIntyre has made a bad start. Pelkman has made an excellent start. Dallavalle, Parks, Mangini, and I believe he's the other one who's started at the back as well. So, yeah, Southwood has not made the getaway that he wanted to as he goes through into turn 11 and 12, going uphill a little bit here. Everyone seems to be a little bit spread out. We're having a look at Brandon Kruger going through turn 13. This is a chance for him to right all those wrongs that he had at Monza last weekend. Going into turn 14. Nicely done from him as they now complete their first lap of the race. So it's Sanford, Cochran, Southwood, Kruger, Betcher, Sheikh, Rattel, Pelkmans, Dallavalle, Parks, Mangini, Junga, and McIntyre. What's happened to Ross McIntyre? What has happened to him as Rattel makes an excellent move? But Ross McIntyre, I don't know what has happened to him. I genuinely don't know what has happened to him. Has he fallen off the deep end or something? I genuinely don't know if he's fallen off the deep end. As we look at Pelkman's just cutting through the pack like a hot knife through butter, and he's actually blocked out by I believe on this Rattel. Oh no! Pelkman's a spun! Pelkman's a spun! A rare mistake for the champion! Oh dear lord! What has happened there? And Pelkman now has to do all this, do this maps. Has to the push all over again. Oh dear me, Pelkmans. What has happened to you? Oh dear. But yeah, it's not how the champion wants that race to go by. So now we're on lap, going into lap 3 out of, I believe it's 24. I'm just having a look here. Yeah, 24. And this is where it's like at the moment, Sanford leading ahead of Cochran, Southwood, Betcher, Kruger, Betcher, Rattel, Shaikh, Dalavale, Junga. McIntyre has actually made a better start now. Parks, Pilkman's back in 12, and Mangini in 13. That is, like I said, not the best way that Junga wanted this. Not the best way that the champion wanted to get through this race as much as he can. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next. Anyone else going to spin on the race? Anyone else going to miss time a breaking point? Anyone else that's going to fall under the pressure here? I'm not too sure. If I'm a little bit struggling on the commentary, the stream is a little bit laggy. I do apologise. But yeah, we're just having a look at Cochran for a bit, and now Kruger. Pressure behind, and oh dear. There we go. So yeah, Kruger now 9. But oh no! And who was that? Who was that just then? I thought that was right at turn 11. Surely it's not Pokemons again. If it's not, if it's not, fair enough because he's a little bit further back. But that's never a rare mistake with him. Absolutely rare. No, it's Cochran. I just realised Cochran second. Oh dear. So now we're going into that 4 out of 24, 20 laps to go. And all but the top 5, now top 6, top 7, all of the top 9 have done fast laps. I believe personal fast laps, not session fast laps. As Cochran goes wide again, this time at turn 3, as Kruger makes a move, but it's gone a little bit wide. Cochran's gone for it again as he and Southwood go side by side for that as Cochran makes it back through. Mad stuff, absolutely mad stuff. Sanford still leading at the front, yet to make any mistake, which is okay for him. Okay from him so far. Hoping to make sure that he actually gets back into it, and Southwood makes a little bit of a wobble going through turn 9 there. Going side by side with Southwood on the outside. A little bit of a lock up, going wide there, and yeah, that's not the best way to go about it. But he still hangs on for third. Wow. Kruger overtakes Southwood, goes wide, but still hangs on as Southwood himself goes wide, and now has lost not only 1, not only 2, not 3, not 3, but 4 positions that he's lost in the first 4 laps. That is staggering from the pole sitter. Absolutely staggering. But meanwhile, Pelgrim's has not made any more improvements going forward. So excuse me. I don't know if he's made if he's trying to get forward. Oh God, who's that? I don't know who that was just going off the road, but that was not a good move, but that was better. I believe that was better. Wow. Wowza stuff. So Sanford still leading ahead of Hoffman there. I just don't know what I think that's running time. There it goes. Oh, goes. Now he touches Shaikh, going through that hairpin. Mad stuff. now. Still see if there's any battles going on. Actually, it is between Jungler and Sheikh. That's why we're looking at that at the time. And they cut only a few attempts between them. This is for 7th place as well in time. As they go into the final corner. No sort of mistake from Jungler at this point in time. Everything cool down now. Sheikh could actually make a move on him, or maybe Dalavalle could catch up. Well, here's on the table of Sheikh. Sheikh is a little bit wide, but Dalavalle could make a good run here, perhaps. Just side by side with him going into turn 4 here. And he makes the move stick. Utterly unbelievable from Dalavalle. Imran Sheikh didn't know what was coming. Didn't know what was coming. Mad stuff. So now on lap 6 out of 24. And now what is going to happen next? Seeing Helpman's going side by side with Sheikh next. The champion, just makes it through that. Starting for the back, currently 9th out of 13. Good start from him considering what he was going through. And off goes Sheikh. A bad race going worse for Sheikh. Well, hopefully the pit stops could help him rectify his mistakes. We don't know. But anyway, Jungler has made the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 41.126. Lap 7 out of 24. Trying to see the fastest, quickest battle between one track at the moment. The time is between, I believe it's Rattel. It's actually between Betcher, Rattel, and Jungler. Only a full couple of seconds between them. And I believe Cochran can catch up to Sanford anytime soon, but plenty of time for him to catch up. What will happen next in this race? Now a look at Jungler catching down Rattel. He's got Betcher in front of him. He's got Kruger behind him. Falkman's also there. Champion. And when only about 5 laps or so away from halfway point. And we've got a little bit of a spinner going through turn. Well, it's also turn, and it was Rattel. An easier path for Pelkmans. That's not going to go well for Roman. That's the unbelievable stuff at this point in time. Okay, off he goes through turn 8. Oh, sorry, that one a bit tight today. Go for turn 9. It's Pugman's nearly halfway there. Could we see him on the top spot of the podium by the time the race ends? Tall order still, but it is possible for the champion to catch up. Toby Sanford still leading the race, a couple of seconds ahead of Cochran with Southwood as well there. This is a tough one. Still Sanford. As Mengidi plays in the fastest lap of the race, that is astounding. Okay. Lap 9 out of 24. And Pelkins is now on the back end of Kruger. This could be the best chance for Pelkins to get into the top 6 just before the windows open. Could it happen here? He's got best chance of getting one last right now. There we go. Pelkmans makes the vital move into 6 and is now 5 places away, of course, from the top spot. Hopefully the pit window can help him get back into it, or Kruger can actually make a little bit of a threat there, and no, Pelkmans keeps on to 6. As his teammate Luca Betch is right in front. Maybe if he passes Junga and Junga gets passed by Pelkmans, maybe Betcher could slow down and let Pelkmans through. Who knows? We're on lap 10 out of 24. 14 laps to go as Betcher makes, or was it Kruger makes a little bit of a mistake there as Patel spins off again in the background. Becoming second nature for him now. Into turn 13. Here's Betcher. Or maybe Falcons could ask Betcher to set him through right now, because Junga's actually pulled a little bit ahead. Actually, Betcher's going to go into the pits, so Pelkmans inherits 5th from his teammate. He goes. So I believe that Betcher would come out in maybe at least 11th. Nope, it'll be 10th. Betcher and Shaik also in the pits. Okay, so lap 11 out of 24. Shaik still in the pits. Betcher has come out. Well, let's see how the front runners do in the pits. We look at Ross McIntyre as Got Rattel spinning out again. And oh, McIntyre! Oh dear, and finds himself with Rattel there. These two are not having the best race at all. Of their lives, they're not having the best race of their lives. Unbelievable. Here's Southwood. Is he going to come into the pits? Nope. As he goes on, currently in third at this moment of time, behind both Sanford and Cochran. Who's going to be next to come into the pits? It's Kruger. Lap 12 out of 24. We're halfway there now. And Pelkmans is in a good place to at least finish on the podium. Now it's all up to Sanford if he tries to continue on or if he makes this absolute humongous mistake. But anything can happen, and it usually does. Here is Kruger. And off goes Kruger. Oh dear. What is he like today? And in goes Pelkmans, in goes Southwood, Junga and Cochran. Sanford's the only one who hasn't left the pits, and now the gap between all four of the bottom five, all four of the top five have... Look at Rattel. What is Rattel doing? I don't know if Rattel has any problems with his steering, but it is a big problem now, and it needs to be sorted. But meanwhile, the bottom four of the top five is now within touching distance of each other, and it now all depends on what happens with Sanford. Mangini's in the pits. We'll have to see what happens next, shall we? So Junga up into fifth. Good start from him, I should say, as well. Yeah. So this is what the standings looks like after lap 13. Sanford, Cochran, Dalla Valle, Southwood, Junga, McIntyre, Pelkmans, Betcher, Kruger, Shaik, Rattel and Parks. Mangini in 13th as well. Maybe Sanford's time to come to the pits, maybe in the next lap or so. Then Cochran would eventually inherit that lead, only temporarily. And we'll see what comes of it. Here comes Southwood, challenging Della Valle. Intense battle between these two. As he just manages to get around Della Valle there, but comes back, and Della Valle now back up into third. And this is very much mistaken. And Southwood back up into third once again. A little bit back and forth between these two. Utterly unbelievable stuff so far. And here we go. Nothing much happened there. Goes through turn 4. Nearly touched there, but keeps on it. Sanford's not yet made a stop. Sanford hoping to build enough of a gap, but as far as I'm concerned, he's losing that gap, so he may as well pit and save himself some face. And of course, we tell again. No, it's Della Valle. I do apologise. Because every time I see that colours, I think maybe Vattel spinning off every single time. There's Della Valle. Southwood behind Junga. Through turns 11 and 12. And Sanford's now in. Sanford is now in the pits. And what happened to Pelkman's? He was 4th, I believe, at one point. Now he's back down to 7th. What has happened to him? But that does mean one thing. It's either going to be... Well, it's going to be Cochrane, I believe. Yeah, Cochrane now leads the race. But for how long? So it's either going to be between Cochrane or Sanford now. So one of my picks is still there in Sanford. But Cochrane is a little bit of a surprise right now. With only 8 laps to go. Pelkman has a fast lap of the race. 8 laps to go. Anything can happen. Southwood. That's up to his man Janga at this moment in time. Still nothing much coming from it at the well here really. And looks like it's Cochrane still going to keep hold on to that lead. But how long will it take for the Sanfords to catch up? I presume maybe in 2 or 3 laps. Actually, scratch that. 2 or 4 laps. That's much more of a realistic guess. With 7 laps to go, he's got more than a 1 in 2 chance of trying to get past Cochrane. Sanford. And nothing much more comes of that. But Sanford is closer. So my best bet is coming alongside here. He has got DRS. Here comes Sanford. Maybe waiting for a switcheroo, perhaps. Doesn't make it happen. Lap 18 out of 24. 6 laps to go. And maybe he could make it here. Sanford on the outside. Just passes him Weasel, does he? Well done to Sanford. And Cochran can do nothing but just watch him go into the distance. Sanford now hopefully goes on to make that win. Pelkman's in 6. The race win for him is now practically out of his grasp, unless a huge mistake from all of the top 5 to get him through there. My prediction is he could still finish if he puts his backside into it 4th. Right now, I can't see him getting any better than 5th. And better is actually just going to end by here. Does he? Yes, he does. Into turn 11 and 12 he goes. And there he goes up the hill. Cochran make another move on Sanford sooner rather than later. Who knows again? Who knows again? Passed that by Max Junger, currently in 3rd. Pelkman's trying to find some way to catch up to Salford and pass him. But not much can happen. Rattel may as well let Della Valle pass, which he does so for 9th place. Nicely done, or does he? Yep. No, he doesn't actually. I do apologize. Lap 20 out of 24. 4 laps to go. Nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. We're nearly there. Thank you, Sanford. I do apologise, everyone. It's just been a quiet race today. An absolutely quiet race, not much happening, apart from a couple of spins, but yeah. It's a quiet, relaxed afternoon, or evening, I should say. Sanford reaches closer and closer to that win. Alex Cochran, like I said, could do nothing but watch Sanford just drive away into the distance. Mad stuff. We go again. Nope. So this is what the standing looks like with only a few laps to go. Toby Sanford, Alex Cochran, Maximilian Junger, Dave Southwood, Connor Pelkmans, Luca Betcher, Brandon Kruger, Imran Shaikh, Roman Rattel, Gustavo Dallavalle, Ross McIntyre, and Shane Parks. So it's getting a bit quiet now. Oh yeah, and Luca Mangidi at the back there as well. So 2 laps to go. Sanford on his way to another brilliant, to his, I believe, his first brilliant victory of the season, unless I'm very much mistaken. Here comes Sanford. Only a couple laps to go as McIntyre goes into the pits. I don't think we had any retirements yet in this race, but that may happen sooner rather than later. Here is Kruger battling Betcher. Oh, near touch between those two, and now they touch. Bit of excitement into this race, and yeah, Kruger's off. Sorry, Betcher's off. Is Betcher going to retaliate to that? Will Kruger let him pass? My guess is maybe not. So Kruger, understandably, is going to incur the wrath of the stewards. And off goes Betcher again. Not a good race for him. Unbelievable what to think about now. Have a look at Salford and Junga. On the final lap now. Sanford leading the way. Williams gap. And this just seems written in the stars for Sanford after a tough couple of races prior, where we was either languishing so close yet so far, or did not have a good race, even though he tried his absolute best. But now he could reach for it this time. Going through turn 9 and 10 smoothly as he can be, alongside the international straight. Up he goes through turn 11 and 12. And this should be to cap off a quiet but unrelenting season for him. As he goes through turn 13, down into turn 14, and he absolutely deserves this. After a quiet race and after many attempts to try and get onto the top step of the podium, your winner for the final race of the 2021 Formula 2 season this time round is Toby Sanford. Congratulations to Toby. Well done to him. Alex Cochran comes home in second, Max Junga in third, Salford in fourth, and soon to come across the line is a very rare result for the champion. Conor Pelkmans finishes in fifth. Not exactly how his race would have wanted, given he was starting at the back of the grid voluntarily. But it was a good race nonetheless, as he just crashes into the barrier just like that. A little bit of a spin in the background, oh my goodness. Then we got Kruger coming in fourth. I believe Betcher will be in fifth, Delavalle in sixth, Imran Shaikh in seventh, Roman Rattel in 10th, Shane Parks 11th, Ross McIntyre in 12th, and Luca Mangini in 13th. Well, I believe that caps off a mad season. I believe caps off a mad season. We'll be raring to do it again later on this year, but for the time being, that is done. That is done and dusted. We'll wait for a few more cars to come across the line. Shane Parks, an underwhelming season, but a quiet race for him today, considering what happened at Monza last time round, and at Road America as well. But Shane Parks, quiet for him, brilliant stuff. Just stops in the middle of the runoff. So a reminder of the order once again. Your winner for this race is Toby Sanford. Second is Alex Cochran. Third is Maximilian Junga. Fourth is Dave Salford ahead of Conor Pelkmans in fifth. Brandon Kruger in sixth. Luca Betcher in seventh. Imran Shaikh in eighth. Gustavo Dallavalle in ninth. Roman Rattel in 10th. With Shane Parks, Ross McIntyre, and Luca Mangini rounding out the rest of the field. And yeah, sorry if this has been a very quiet race, and I'm sorry if I just fell off a little bit off the rails when I have well, I haven't really had much chemistry to deal with today, but we did soldier on at least at the very least. And yeah, we'll just hope we can actually push on for next season. Thank you very much Cemal putting the broadcast together. And thank you for watching in. Thanks to Zach, who's been commentating through the races over the last few weeks or so. And yeah, I will hopefully see you around for the next season of ARL on Assetto Corsa. For now, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. But until then, cheer out.